This week we are talking Flawless floor, and we're talking like all the different things. I feel crooked here. Let's just fix this a little bit. But here's the thing is, when in the company that I used to sell for, the Flawless floor, when it went on sale, was $100. That's what it was, and it was a huge deal because you could get primer, foundation, concealer, and a setting product for $100. I'm over that though, right? Because I'm going to show you all the bundles this week that are like, you can mix and match all the different products, and today's bundle for a Flawless 4 is $46.60. Primer, foundation, concealer, and a setting product. And you get to choose, right? So I chose just the regular primer. You can do this one or the strobe. This is a photo filter technology. It's our VFX. All of the VFX line is a visual effect kind of thing. Now, you could use this one or the strobe. If you have dry skin, I would really recommend the strobe. It still has that photo filter technology, but it's a cream versus kind of like this one is more like a gel. But it is amazing for dry skin, and it just gives you that little bit of glisten that you really need. But $12.90 or $13.90, either one you pick, okay? For my setting product, I actually chose the Time Lacquer Spray because I'm using powder today only. So I'm gonna use this at the beginning and the end. So primer and setting spray, okay? Just let it dry for a second, all right? Let's just let it dry, let it dry, let it dry. Okay, so then for what I chose, I'm gonna do powder and concealer, But generally speaking, you'll see me put on concealer after foundation, right? But not when you use a powder, because you want that, you don't want to add a cream on top of a powder. It just, in this instance, it just doesn't work, okay? So what I'm going to do is just put it here in the corner. This is just going to brighten me up and highlight any area that I want to highlight. So here, and then I'm going to put my powder on. And then you can add any kind of contouring, bronzing, whatever you want, but here's where you're starting. This is like your flawless, let's get going kind of thing. And then if you want to do everywhere else, do it. This is just where I'm doing it. And then I like to take my brush. This is the concealer buffing brush, and just brighten that up. You see how that's just brightening that under eye up? And then we'll add the powder, and it'll just kind of blend it all together. I used to do a blending bud for this step, but you guys, once Farmasi came out with this blending buffing brush, it's literally the most incredible thing because it keeps it right on top. It doesn't really press it in, so it's staying on top of that primer, but it still has amazing coverage. But it feels like it's not pushing it down into those fine lines, wrinkles. The primer's already gonna help with that if you do like the blending bud. But this, for whatever reason, just really adds to it. But you see how that's really brightened it up, that under eye. It's early, we gotta get going, all the things. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna do the powder. You guys, okay, so you do have some options here with these two things. Can we talk about it? With this one, you can get the setting powder or the setting spray. This one is $10.90. The setting powder is, I think, $14.90. And then the concealer, you can get, this one is, I think, $9.90. And then the full coverage stick, I think, is $12.90, something like that. So I'm literally Flawless 4 for under $50. Yes, please. Okay, so then I'm just going to take a dry blending bud. Okay, watch this coverage. Do you see that? That's amazing, right? And I'm putting it over the concealer, but I'm not going to swipe it there because I do want to keep it a little lighter, okay? And then I just do as much as what I want. But you guys, this coverage is incredible. Okay, make sure you're blending down on your neck. This is going to be like a really, really light, you guys, coverage. I had not used this powder. My sister kept telling me this was the best powder she had ever used in her life. And I was kind of like, I don't really know about all that, right? It's just powder. And I'm not a powder girl, even though do you see this coverage? This is incredible, y'all. Look at that. That's insane, right? But I'm not really a powder girl, but she loves powder. And she's like, no, it's the best powder I've ever used. And she's used a lot. If I tell you it's the best powder I've ever used, just assume I've used this and the old brand. Because I didn't do all that, right? But she has actually used all the things, okay? And I'm just doing it with a dry blending bud. You guys, nothing special, okay? But look at that coverage. Look, and if I want to kind of cover that up a little bit more, look, okay? This is going to be probably like a medium coverage. So if you have a lot of discoloration, this probably isn't going to be the powder for you or the foundation for you. But we'll talk about some other ones this week as well. You guys, so incredible though, right? So incredible. So like I said, you can add the bronzer, you can add some highlight, some powder. You can do whatever you want, okay? Just do whatever you want, but you've got to try this powder. It's so incredible.